All right, so we are live. It's like always like a 20-second delay, and hopefully everything is working well. Looks like I got good audio, and I can see the intro kicking in now. Yeah, so it's a delay. I'm looking up on the big screen here. How's everything looking to you guys? I moved the lighting around, the camera around, so hopefully it's not quite as bright. Just let me know in the chat as you guys see it. What is up, B for Baron? What is up, Marco, channel member? Let's see if the sounds really quiet on my end. You guys have to let me know if this sounds okay on your end. Maybe if I turned it up might help. I got some stuff that came in the mail, a couple of things that I wanted to jump into tonight, and wanted to see what you all are getting into. So I guess what I'll do while we're warming up, I just want to kind of follow up. Bluminati. Really, bud? I'm gonna have to hit you up with the double. Thanks, Bluminati. I appreciate you, brother. So if you're just getting here, I still haven't had a chance to find more sounds and songs, so I'm gonna try to do that. Maybe this weekend I can find some time to dig into that a little bit. I got a lot that I have come up with that I want to record, and I'll put that on the agenda. We'll find some stuff. But let me know, how's the lighting, sound, everything good? Sound effects not too loud? Hoping so. So last week I talked a little bit about an incident that I had with a knife I was selling on Reddit Knife Swap, which I just decided to delink myself from. I'm probably not going to go that avenue anymore. So the knife came back in, and I wanted to just kind of follow up and let you guys know where it landed. So this is the React XOM, and these are the scales. And what I ended up doing was taking off 2.25 millimeter off the back to allow the screws to protrude some more. What it was is it just wasn't catching and you were kind of having to like push in and turn. It was really tight tolerances, and just taking off again 0.25 millimeters made them sit perfectly. So I'm really happy with the way that those came out. And while I'm here, I forgot that these are camo carbon. Cool. Thanks, Blue Nade. I appreciate it. Appreciate you, brother. So we'll show this off just so you can see what the watermelon sugar looks like when you hit it with the black light. Crazy, right? Really cool. I just like that. That's a lot of fun. Anyway, that came in. That is resolved. I feel so much better knowing that there's nothing wrong with the knife, nothing wrong with the scales. It was just a slight difference with the measurements. And I forgot how much fun that one is. I don't know if anybody has or has experienced. Just really cool. Oh, and there you go. You can see how smooth it is, how smooth it's operating. Come on, focus in. I love this camera because it has the autofocus on a budget, but it is really slow. And then right there, right above the serial number and the number on the run, that's just like the normal wear and tear that was happening when I had it the first round. So anyway, all good there. What is up, Marco Bluminati, Ninja, Mike's in the chat. Appreciate y'all stopping by. I hope y'all are having a good week. This week has been really long for me. I think it was because last week we were closed. So this week really felt long. Felt like I was feeling that extra day in there that I had gotten used to not having with the holidays coming and going. Some of the stuff that I have on the table are some stuff that came in this week, some things that I picked up that I wanted to talk about. Interestingly, unless I didn't talk about the Miro last week, I don't think there's anything new that I picked up personally for myself that came in. I'm looking at my case just to make sure. I think I'm gearing up for a flashlight video, and I've gone through a lot of the lights on my own for budget and performance, and I picked up a couple that I'm probably going to include in giveaways later, but I wanted them back in so that I could do like uh somewhat deep dive, not quite as deep as some of the other channels, and certainly not as high end, but I do like the flashlights. I do use them a lot, and actually by looking at some of them, one of them replaced like a mainstay. So I'll get into all that in the videos because I don't want to give too much away, but I will go through what has come in and talk just briefly about those as well. All right, Blue Minati, I appreciate it, man. Hopefully it'll be entertaining. Oh, Mike, these were scales I actually had made for the knife. They're camo carbon watermelon sugar scales, and Jay Dizzle made those to put them on the React XOM. So if you weren't here last week, someone asked to buy these, picked them up. Well, I guess they really didn't ask. Somebody on Reddit said they wanted to buy it, so I had listed it as for sale, but they had said that they wanted them because of the scales. And when they got there, I think they said it was this screw. This screw here, they said was loose, and I checked everything when I had gotten them, so maybe it was just on it, and when I checked it, everything was tight before I shipped it out. Anyway, long story short, he got it, said there was something wrong with it. I was very nervous that he had stripped it by checking it, but what ended up happening was they were I did caliper measurements. They were, I don't know if it'll pick it up. Let me see if I can get it really close. Usually takes a second to focus too. There you go. It was like 0.25 millimeters off. So I took it into the garage. I sanded them down point. If they were 0.25 off, I think I went down to 0.22. I didn't go quite the whole way and gave just enough room for the screw to kind of come out through the other side. And everything looks like it's fitting nice and well. I was able to tighten it. And then what I did on the inside, and let me just grab the blade because I don't want it to slide out. On the inside, you're not going to be able to really see in there anyway. But on the inside of the exoskeleton, I just checked to make sure the screws weren't protruding out. And everything looked like it was snugged up, good to go. And I really love the scales. But you know, this channel, I do move things along so I can recoup funds, pick up other things, and check out other knives and just kind of keep that rotation ever going. Thanks, Zen EDC, man. I appreciate you confirming that for me. I appreciate it. And the chat, I did make it a little bit smaller so that it doesn't take up the whole screen. I forgot that I added that in. And I may have to look around a little bit because the overlay that I found for the software that I'm using for these streams, it seems like whenever Chrome updates, that it kicks out my extension. It doesn't save it. So, or maybe I need to look to see how to get it to save my extensions so it won't delete them whenever I do that. But acting kind of finicky. Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, they're fixed. It was like I think when I reached out to Jay Dizzle, he said it's like 0.01 inches when you take 2.25 millimeters and equate it into inches. So very, very close as far as the length. All right, I guess I'll dive into the flashlights first and then the knives. I'll save those for last as far as what came in. So I can't remember if I told you guys during the holiday sale, I picked up the Vosteed Rook, and this is a Raylight and Vosteed collab, and it functions very much like the Raylights. So this one here is triple emitter with optics. It runs on a tail switch, and I'm not quite sure because the tail switch for Raylights, which I'm going to get into the one that I picked up here to compare it to, those take tritium inserts, I think, or tritium pills. Is it still trying to focus on me? Yeah. Which way are we going? So I don't know if it takes three or if that's just supposed to be a V because it's Vosteed. I'm not 100% sure, but I like this one a lot. It is a really interesting size. So usually I use like the longer ones just to take the full length of, and I'll compare it to an older light that I have out here, just to kind of fill out the organizers that I'm using. And then I'll show you the organizer. And we'll talk about this light here in a minute. So it doesn't quite, oops, it doesn't quite take up the full organizer, but it's so lightweight and it works so well. I just really like this one, but it's interesting. So on the sale, I think it was like 39 bucks, which to me is a steal of a deal for a programmable light. And when I say programmable, you know, it just changes the percentage of the light volume, and you can also have memory on or off. Like I prefer for it to start on the moonlight setting. Hopefully that's not too bright for you guys. And then from there, you just half click to get it to go through the other settings. And it has a good amount of settings. And then it has a little glow ring gasket in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. but it's really nice. It has a warmer light to it, and it has more flood while still having some throw to it. So it puts the flood out there a little bit further. So I like this one a lot, but it's normally 69 bucks. And I guess that's because it's triple emitter, because if you go and look at the LAN apple from Raylight, which is a really popular, whether you get the aluminum or the titanium. I picked up the LAN because I like the size of this one. But the LAN in aluminum starts at 48, but it's a single emitter and it has an orange peel cone so that it kind of adds some flood to keep it from being super, super narrow. And then this is what I was talking about. It takes the tritium insert, and I don't think it might take. What do you guys think? Do you think the ones on the Vosti are going to take the tritium pill? Sorry. I was trying to look at the camera to see if it was focusing and got distracted. But it starts out more expensive, and I guess it's probably because it's a triple emitter, right? And it has throw with flood. It has like a medium optic on it from what I've been researching. Anyway, this one here. Yeah, Mike, I'm with you, man. It's funny that you say that, just to give you an idea, because I'm going to do this video on that. So this one here, Baton 3, so I have an older one. But here it is against the Rook. And I thought it was a really, really interesting comparison. A little too close. So kind of like a stopgap, right, between the Baton and the Baton. I leave that. I love the moonlight on the Olights. They get so low, but I leave that on my nightstand. That's my nightstand light. What's up, Kevin C? We won't tell any man. We won't tell anybody. It's our secret. What's up, budget guy? Just waking back up from a nap. All right, Isabella, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so this one here is replacing my Ace Beam Rider X. It is a little bit more narrow, so double A housing size with a little bit of a larger emitter and a little bit brighter light setting on there. And then I think I'm gonna upgrade to the Timascus tail switch and probably pick up tritium insert for the tail of this one. But I really like this. I don't think so to me it's very intuitive because it's just starts at the low setting, and this one's programmable, so if you prefer it to start high and go the other way, it gives you that option. Or if you like it to start on a certain light percentage, you can program it to do that as well. So it starts with the moonlight, which I think it's still a little bit throwy without too much flood. Took me like a minute to get my orientation there, but it works like the Vosteed, and then the half clicks are what kind of get it to ramp up. And I don't know if the camera's going to glitch out here, so I'm not going to do that. But all your light brightnesses are accessed that way. So it's not like a double click for turbo, and it's not like a click and hold for Moonlight. It's just click it on, half click to get to the light that you want to use, and click it off. So it's very, very straightforward. And these start at 48 bucks with aluminum, and they have like 4 or 5 colors. And then all titanium is under 100. So I have not ever had a Ray light, so I'm just getting in to those to get to know them. So I'll do a full like in depth. I'm gonna take them, somewhere low light so you can see the throw versus the brightness and the warmth and everything. And then with the Ray light, I think you get to choose between two, but I could be remembering wrong because I legit today during lunch, I was listening to videos and I was writing down information for the video this weekend that I'm going to record for that. What is up, Thomas? How's it going? Yeah, yeah. We have a few folks like that. I don't know if that happens regularly, but a few folks I know that have some issues with nighttime sleeping. What's up, Dwayne? Thanks for stopping by, bro. I appreciate you. When you say it does all that, what do you mean by all that as far as how you can program it? Because the Raylight and the Vosteed you can program. I just like the simplicity of like the default setting, I guess. I'm sure I'd get used to it though if I changed it. So the other one that I'm going to talk about here is the FocusWorks. So this one's a custom, and I wanted to at least have one affordable custom. I picked this one up during holiday sale. I think I saved like 50 bucks off of the asking price, but I didn't realize it because I was trying to do that and do something else, and I didn't realize it didn't come with the light. So it took forever for the light to come in. So on this one here, it's very much the same way, but you get a sample of the brightness before, and then if you want to change it, you click quickly, and then you wait a moment, you can check it and see where it's at. I'm trying to get to the there we go. And then you click it into that locked position. So this one only has three, so the moonlighting is not very low. And then it has a medium and it has a high. So you hopefully got to see the tail switch there. I have to half press to get to see what I'm about to click into, and then you click into it. I do like the weight. I like the size, the fit and finish of everything. It's very nice. Oh, and I wanted to compare it to and I think they're both 14500 batteries. I can't remember off of the top of my head, but you can get a rough idea on length. The Raylight a little bit shorter, and then diameter wise, the Raylight a little bit smaller. And that can be an advantage or a disadvantage depending like hand size, I guess. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show that really well here. But they both fit in there to where I can get to the tail switches pretty easy. So that's it for the lights. We're done talking about lights for tonight. Those are going to be coming up in a video. If you're interested in that, I'm going to run through budget, like very budget small stuff, like the smaller stuff that I kind of start out with. And I am going to include like three keyring options because that is important to me, but I'll keep it brief at the beginning of that particular video. Oh, my old lights are like that. My old lights are like that. I don't know if you saw, I had the baton out here. And I do like that. I mean, it's very intuitive still, in my opinion. So for this one, you click hold, and then you get a very dim moonlight. It's very, very dim. And then this one is click off, click it on, and then hold to get to the next lowest setting. Medium, hold, click, high, hold, click, and then back to the low. And then click it off, and then I'm going to back out of here for a second. Double click for the turbo. So it's not overtly complex to operate the Olights, but the baton kind of is like that. But I will hit on that because I do think that is important for people to know. Like the Land Apple or Raylight is very simple and straightforward. I feel like FocusWorks could be, but I think the half click to me throws me off just a little bit. And it could be because I'm moving between lights, but anyway. Oh, you got a brass i3. That's a good one. I like the i3. That's a really good size. And I want to hit on that point. Is it worth it to pay like a little bit extra to go to an i5? So I have some of that as some of the size comparison. So it's probably going to be like the first video is going to be very compact and affordable, and then the second half we'll probably talk about all of these lights that I just showed you, plus the baton, because I do want to bring the baton in because I think it would be a really good comparison against the Rook because it's a very compact, lightweight carry for sure. What's up, Knife Fast? I just finished talking about it, man. Casey, hope you're doing well, bro. Thanks for stopping by, man. Getting ready to jump into what came in this week. I'm not sure. Casey's really quick on the draw, so he might have seen all these already, but we're going to run through them anyway. So, first, which needs to probably go out tomorrow, is going to be the Ketio Triad. So this one I've had for over a week. I've spent a lot of time with it. I spent the earlier part of this week, I think, recording this one. So this one here is a button lock with the marbled carbon fiber. It's a very good looking knife. It's got a compound grind Tonto blade on it, spoon, opening hole. So this one here has got all the deployment methods. So this one's got the rear flipper. It's got the front flipper. I'm at a really bad angle here, guys. The thumb studs and then the opening hole. On bearings, really good knife, nice sounds, really cool. All right, I'm getting behind on the chat a little bit. I think y'all are just saying hi to Casey. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome, budget guy. That's a nice pickup and really generous of Big Red too. Was that for anything for any of his milestones? Because I know didn't he hit 10K recently? I felt like he hit 10K. Yeah, Kathleen, it is. It is a deep one. And that's kind of why I wanted to make it because I'm gonna break it up into two. So like I want to talk about best bang for your buck and the more budget oriented, and then I want to talk about stuff that's affordable, that's high performance focused. And that's where I was talking about like this here at the sale price during the holidays, the Vosteed Rook. This one here has the triple emitters, really throwy but very good flood still. And this one coming in at 70 with the triple emitters, like I feel like that's really good value. But I did see some stuff from Lumen Top that I wanted to hit on as well, and Ace Beam has some stuff too. Oh, okay. I haven't had a chance to check it out. I'm gonna grab some dinner after the live, and that's usually when I try to catch up on y'all's videos. So I'll go and look for it. I'll be curious to see how it is. I'm sure it's really good, just as always, my man. And Joe, that's a really good brand to start with because I feel like they're always tweaking and improving. And they may not use the most high-end emitters, but they do a really good job maximizing them. And they do have, I believe, a couple of options where they run cool lights and warm lights. And that's where I think if they can do that more, like give more of that variety, I think that's going to be stuff people really like. But they're super affordable and I think they're well made personally. I do like Phoenix as well. Phoenix is another brand that's very well built that I think compares very well with Olight, and I'm very limited too. Let's see. All right, I don't think I'm missing anything. Are you talking about what the I2R? I have that one on my keyring. That one's going to be in my video too. All right, let's keep going. So the other KTO, I'm not sure if I'm saying that, is the Illusion. This one's a frame lock with a very subtle recurve. I'm not a big recurve guy at all, but this one's subtle enough to where I think it kind of works. And it's very nice looking, got a nice finish. This one here has a front flipper, and then it's very discreet, but that has a filler tab, a fuller, not a filler tab. Lord have mercy, it has a fuller for opening that works really well. But I think it's a very attractive knife. I'm gonna open it back up again, and then I'll show you the fuller. Good sounds too. Knife. The poor camera's trying to catch up with me. I'm just flying back and forth. Pretty minimal branding. frame lock, nice thin construction. It's really nice. I like this one a lot. Really good action. Really, really good action. Did that come loose? Nope. Solid pivot. Every time I think I've deployed that one, I've been like, oh wow. Oh, the backspacer. The backspacer on there. That's where they have the logo. I kind of like that because it's not on the blade and in your face. I don't think that was the case with the Triad. I think the Triad had it on the, yeah, pocket clip. And that's really subtle too. I don't mind that too much. I don't mind that too much. But videos are coming for both of those. I liked both of those. I enjoyed it. I don't know the name of these. These came in today. I unboxed them beforehand. I have a couple of Tuya knives. I think they're both Tuyas. I could be wrong. I checked them in on the app, but I don't remember the names of each one. So this one is a slip joint and it has a very unique walk and talk to it, and it has a pocket clip. So clip point blade, pretty interesting. I think I've seen this on someone else's channel. So it has kind of a unique quarter stop, half stop, and I guess 3/4 stop. That's not quite 3/4. 3/4 would be a little bit lower, and then it's to get past that, it's very noticeable. You have to really force it. K2O. Thanks, Pretty Fly. I appreciate it. K2O. I'm glad you came here because I always feel like I struggle with the name of that one. I want to enunciate the E, KTO. I don't know why, but it's K2O. Am I saying it right now? K2O. Key T Key2O. 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 I think I can remember that. Got a ZT 0350 for sale for 140. Is that it, the 20 CV, or is that one their new Magna Cut? Because I know that they're doing Magna Cut on some of their knives, so I was not sure if it's recent on sale. I'm betting it's their S20V. Slip joints are not fun for me. I feel you, Louie. I feel you. And then I think this one's the Tua also. Come on, catch up. There you go. This kind of reminds me of a Chavez a little bit with the blade. Very Chavez-esque on their Redencion. Actually, I think they do a lot of this drop point compound on there for theirs. And then this one, I noticed it when I unboxed it. I reached out to Kevin and he said that's how it shows on the website. So it has the pivot bolt on the show side with the collar up, and there you go. But on the pocket clip side, it's the captive pivot with the logo. I've never seen it reverse like that. This one here has thumb studs, Casey's favorite front flipper. Really good action, but I just unboxed it today, so I need to spend a little time with it. Yeah, it feels a little loose in the pivot, but I'm not messing with that right now. That's everything that came in this week. Did I show you guys the Miro? I can't remember when it came in last week. Trying to remember if I showed that to you. Anyway, I'll show you the only other item that I have to show today. I can't remember where I saw this, but I saw that they were running a sale. I think it's like $60 and it's a 24 knife case from Cavill, and it's very well made. The construction on it's really, really nice. This button's closer. So it's a, I don't know if I can show you guys. It's really close to the microphone. It has snaps and latches, kind of like on my budget. That didn't sound good. On my budget case that I have, but it has the tearaway foam. Whereas this one from 60, it has the foam, but it doesn't have the liners, but they're laser cut out, I believe it said. And then it has the formed top to help it in there. Still has that new case smell, which is essentially glue, I think. But I thought for the money, I think it's like $60. I thought it was really, really nice. Um, the way I intend to do this is kind of my keepers and gifts that are all really nice. I think I'm gonna keep that in here and keep that separate. And then the one that I have already, I'll just throw whatever else that I don't want in that case in there. The other one held like 34 or 36 or 32, somewhere in the 30s. I can't remember what it was, but it was you had to tear the squares out. So a little bit cheaper, but I like that one a lot. Bobby knows it. It's the To Your Wrath. That's the folder, right? The To Your Wrath. I appreciate it because I got to go back into the app after we're done and check it out. You talking about the case? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure where I am, Casey, in the chat. Oh, y'all are talking about the case. Yeah. I mean, it's really nice for the money. I want to say it came like 5 to 7 days after I ordered it. So I want a nice one for my nice stuff. There's like 3 knives in my collection that are gifts from my wife. I got she purchased the bug out. I picked it out. She paid for it. And then the same thing with the Quiet Carry 9. And then when we went to Blade Show Atlanta last year, she picked out the Echo. So those are the three that are gifts from her. So those would go in there. And then my Spyderco's would go in there. I know they're not high end, but I have definitely built mine up, so those will go into that case as well. Yeah, I thought so too, Louis. I thought so too. I really think for the money, it's really nice. And actually, let me see if I can throw a link in there for you guys if y'all wanted to go look at it while we're chatting. So, Cavill knife case, I think is what I did, and then I bought it. I think it's on Amazon too. Hold on, can't remember. Ooh, that's bright. I think it's on Amazon, which might come faster. It is, and I think it's free shipping, and I'll throw both in there. You guys can decide. Oh, where's that X to get out of there? Yeah, it's cheaper on Cavill's website, but it doesn't include shipping. You have to pay for the shipping. Lost the chat. So here it is on Cavill's website, and it's like 20 bucks cheaper on Cavill's website. That's honestly where I would buy it from. And then what happened? Can I grab that link? Thank you. If you're impatient and you want it now, I bet you it ships faster and you won't have to pay if you have Prime from Amazon. I doubt it costs $20 for shipping. It's probably like 8, 10 bucks for shipping on Cavill's website, so it's definitely cheaper on Cavill's website. Would you say, Casey? Yeah, man, your line of Tempest knives is getting big, man. So that would definitely suit it, and it's a really nice case. Like I'm really impressed this weekend when I'm doing my recording and stuff. I'm gonna move like my prized knives over to that one. I feel like I missed something. Oh yeah, Tom said he liked the KTO design. KTO, Keto. Am I gonna have to go back and look at this now? Oh, I said it right, KTO. When I corrected myself the first time. Oh man. Oh, I didn't notice that. Pretty Fly is a channel member. That's another thing I want to do this weekend. I want to go and find some more sounds to use and songs for the intro. I also might need to look around for the chat. I mentioned earlier, for whatever reason, whenever Chrome updates, it kicks the extension that I'm using to highlight the comments, it kicks it out. So I might look around to see, A, can I save my extensions so that when it updates, I don't lose it, or B, if there's a better chat. Woo-wee. 40 minutes went by already. So the last thing I did want to touch on, and I want to do an organizer video, but I really like these. I don't know what other ways to utilize stuff like this. And I actually think I touched on it briefly when I was doing an EDC update video, which will be coming out soon. But I use this for like a secondary knife. So my companion carry goes in here. Actually, I feel like I didn't cover this one, but companion carry knife kind of sandwiches in there. And then flashlight pen, you could do pry bar, probably like a Swiss Army knife or something like that. So I was kind of wanted to ask people, like, how do you carry your gear outside of, a utility belt that Batman would carry? What's up, brother? Jay Dizzle in the house. Good to see you, man. We're just gonna give you a cheer just cuz. Um, I wasn't sure if you guys had any other ways that you carry your gear, if you just clip everything, fifth pocket, some of it you may drop in the pocket. The knife I missed because we went through everything, and this one was in the front, and I think I skipped over it to save it for last. I have a sample of the ATK. What's this one called? Is this the Halt? I think it's called the Halt. So this one here is really cool. Very thin design. The mic on it looks really good. I think they're giving either camo carbon or fat carbon as a couple of options. I think the pre-order is coming up on the 19th, so it's coming up fast. Very nice action. Super lightweight, guys. This thing is super lightweight. This came in yesterday, so I need to spend just a little bit of time with it. It is a prototype, and in the case, he talks about some of the changes. I think one of them is leveling the pocket clip. I just bumped the microphone. I think the pocket clip is angled. I think he's going to straighten that out. And then I think there was a few other things on the list. And I think also that he put in the pass around tracking app that we use. I think he threw a few things in there. 100%. 100% agree. I'm super excited. I can't wait for him to get whatever he needs worked out with concept. And I definitely am interested to see what he's going to offer for the Fractus. I think he's said that he's doing like two options for the Fractus. I think he said Arctic Storm, and then I think he said the twilled carbon fiber are the two options, and maybe one more. I don't know. I'm very anxious to see when he's going to reveal like everything's finalized and when the pre-order will be up. Thomas agrees. Yep, 100%. Can you guys see the pop-up okay? Do I need to make that any bigger? I had it set to full screen before, and like when someone would write a bunch, it would actually like take up the whole screen, like my whole face. Oh, I think it's locked on the microphone because I was hiding behind it. There we go. Anytime, my man, scratch their beards for me. You know what's up. All right. Saying hi. Everything. I haven't tried a pouch. Thought about it a few times. So like a what a slide pouch or like a organizer like what I showed you that I use from Art Company. It's been really hard to find stuff. There was a couple of leather ones out there and actually started with the leather ones, but they were actually kind of small back when I was trying them. So I didn't really like the way that they carried. And actually, this is the XL version. So he has a Rambler that's a little bit smaller than this one, Art Company. But I really like the XL because it accommodates the pen and the light, and these pens are like the mini pens, so they're not super big. Like the tactile mini side click is the pen that's in the other one, and smooth precision pen mini click or mini, they're not around anymore, unfortunately. It works really well, and it's low profile enough to where it slides down. I put it in my left pocket, and it slides down. It doesn't take a lot of room, so I like that about those. But I always like to explore like other options, what other people will use. So with the leather ones, it was like flashlight pry bar, and then it had like the elastic for the pin. That was the other thing I didn't like about the leather. I didn't want the pin exposed and getting scratched up, like if I could help it. I know it's going to happen, but I don't want to do it on purpose. Are y'all talking about the pocket clip on the Halt? I know it's a little late, a little delayed. Are y'all talking about the Fractus? We were talking about the Fractus for a second. I'm not sure, and I don't know if KC is left. I think he just popped in. I tried Wednesday night, and then I felt bad because I was kind of overlapping with Mattis factions, and then I think I can't remember who's tonight because I think this is only my second Thursday live, but I think I'm overlapping someone else's. But this one's a little bit easier for me. Plus, it gives me more time in the week for things to come in to talk about, which I really do like. But I don't know that I'm going to move it again. Oh, that's what I forgot to talk about with the flashlights. So, anyone out there that's into them, is there a better option? So, this is the Lumen Top. This one is the F3. I think this happens to be the EL. I don't know if there's a huge difference between the FW3 and the FW3 EL for this one. But I really liked Lumen Top, and the only thing that I could see out there that kind of seemed like it'd be comparable was like the Ring King, but it looks like it has really obtruse rings. I guess that's why they call it the Ring King, to dissipate the heat. But it's a single emitter, and I don't think I see anything EDC size that's triple emitter. And I guess that's because people have probably moved away from that and just got something that had more throw with the single emitter. But if anybody knows one out there, I really like theirs too. Theirs is pretty intuitive. I think it's a hold for moonlight as well. And it has a pretty low moonlight for a triple emitter. And then I think it's click to go to the next. No, that's memory. Or is it? So that's low, one click, two clicks medium, three clicks high, back to low. And then I think double click goes to turbo, and then a single click goes out of there, click to hold to exit. So it all works really well. And I always feel like Lumentop has some of the best glow gaskets. But I was curious to see if anybody knew of any other options out there from Lumentop. I feel like Lumentop, Ace Beam, Olight, Raylight, Phoenix are all ones that I've had experience with and or are diving into to do a little light video to talk about it. Because to me, it's a big part of the EDC. Oh, the pop-up text looks good. Thank you. Good size. Forgot that fast because of the delay, and I move on to something else instead of just sitting here in silence and waiting. What's up, Kenneth? Appreciate you stopping by. Grumpy is tonight. Thank you. And Dwayne, you're a member. I forgot to do the. I gotta get better at this part. Yes, Jay Dizzle, that's what I wanted to hit on because I actually want to talk about in the video, like, is AAA worth it over AA, or is AA worth it over AAA? Because if you're just carrying, like someone mentioned earlier, in the pocket and clipping it in there, then I think that is a really valid point. I don't have my AAA up here; it's downstairs. I need to bring all the lights that I have. Man, they're scattered throughout the house. I have some in organizers. I have some in backpacks. Some are in the car. One or two are in the garage. There's these up here are going to be easy because they'll be here. But then once I collect them all, I want to do like comparisons of brightness and then talk about like how they operate. That's where I started though. I started with like i3T size, AAA size, and then with the AAA size, do I have? I think I have. No, that's a Dapper in that pouch. Dang, I didn't bring not one single. Oh, here we go. I was like, I knew I brought one up here. So I'm gonna show you here in a second, bro. So uh they're all rechargeable. So this is a AAA. This is the only AAA still left in my inventory. It's a MicroStream, which I'm turned off to Streamlights because their tail switch are so hard to hit. And then I researched, and I have a small thin piece of cardboard back here to make it a little bit easier to depress. But here's the issue that I have with the AAA lights. To get the light past my hand, I can't get to the tail clicky. So that's where I run into the issue, and I guess that would be about as far in as I could go without having the light hit on there. And I operate all my tail light switches like that. I almost think it would be better if it was designed like the Dapper Design Ion, and if it just had it on the side or like the baton on the side, because then I could really operate it easily. But like this, I have to move it up, click it on, and then push it out to the other side and then reacquire my grip to click it to cut it off. So that's where I run into the issue with the AAA. But I had a bunch of AAA lights that I started with. This is the only one that's left, and I'm getting ready to replace this one with a double A. And that one stays in the car. I have a little stash in my console. What do you carry? I feel like you've mentioned what you have before. Did you have the land app? No, the land apple's double A. Do you have the pineapple? You talked about it the other day. I can't remember what you said you had. I don't need super bright for EDC. I use large brighter lights for walking. Yeah, I have lights separate for walking the dog too. I do like the option of having some brightness on me because a lot of my family, the females in my family, and I have, being Spanish, I have like four aunts. uh, they'll ask me to look at stuff, and with daylight savings, it's nice to have the brighter light to look down in the engine bay. So I do like having like three, at least three, I think, a moonlight and three. It does come in handy for me, but on the daily, I really don't need that much. This one here, I think, if I recall correctly, I think it's 45 lumens or something like that. It's not super bright at all. I don't even know if it'll focus. Let me see. Maybe I throw it on the wall back there. It's not super bright. The camera's making it look very bright. Maybe it was like 60, but it's not super bright. It's but it's only got the one setting because it is a battery replacement. So I have like a AAA battery and a little Ziploc bag to keep it dry that I keep in the car with that, or kept in the car with that one. And I do like the battery because like in the car, I can just go get a fresh battery when I get home and throw it in there if it's dying or dies, and I keep a spare as a backup versus having to recharge it. But I think that's a good point because I have like a little triple stack charger thing extender for the car. So I bet I could just, every so often throw it on the charger on the drive into work or whatever. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel you, man. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Oh, okay. I'm sorry I missed it. Oh, and I highlighted it. I think I just read the first line. Yeah, yeah. i3Ts. Do they have a rechargeable i3? I can't remember if they've upgraded that. That's one thing I like about Olight is they do upgrade and they offer so many special runs. I think I do have one now that I say that. No, it's a five. I don't. Do y'all remember this? It's so hard. It's black. It's so hard. This is like one of the earlier special runs that they did with the splatter on there, and I really do like the i5. So the i5 just clears the fingers and the tail switch, so I can operate it. so I can operate it. The lowest light, though, will it show on here? Is it's a little bit dimmer. I don't know if you could tell by the hotspot that the Streamlight left. And then it has the option. I don't feel like I'm centered. It gets really, really bright. So two settings, not bad, but I feel like i5 is the smallest I can go. And you see it still hangs over a little bit. I forgot about this one. I keep this just because of the fact that it is that sprint, that limited run. Mine doesn't have as much splatter on it though, but you can't get this one no more. What were the other ones? The mini arcade. Okay. That's a nice one. I know you paid a little bit for that. I clicked off instead of on it, sorry. Oh, you're letting one go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And the only issue I have, and that's why I kept this one in the car for so long, is because I don't, if I'm looking at something in the engine bay, I don't mind this. But I think what I'd also like is I like what the baton offers. I don't have, oh, I have a bunch of steel. What am I talking about? Let me do my knife. I got something on the table here. I like with like the Olight, this would be really handy to throw that on the hood. So I'm looking at something like this. But I don't want to do a sprint one run one. I probably just get like a baton four or see if there's someone. Oh, actually, Through Night has the T1. That actually might be better for the car because I think that one's a little bit more yellow too. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Kind of like what is the is it a 14500 for double A, triple A? Can't think of what it's called. Yeah, 14500 is double A. I can't remember the triple A. I can't think of what it is. Dang. Yeah. And then this is so you don't have a pineapple. You have the i3. So I have this is the Lan apple, which is bigger than the pineapple. And again, I'm just poking out past the fingers, a little bit's catching on there. Oh, it's not focusing. Come on. There we go. And then I think what half click to go up. Yeah. Yep. I don't know that I could go much smaller, which is why again why I really love these organizers, but the Rambler instead of the XL might work better for people that have that size. Oh, that is a good point. Tail switchers are easy to find. I didn't even think about that because I think the only ones that I have, this one stands pretty proud, but it would be nice if it glowed a little bit. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Yeah, this one has the magnet, and then I believe you can flip it and clip it onto the bill of the hat. I've never done it before. Does it sit too far back? It sits really far back. It sits really far back. Holy cow. Hard to get off too. But I do like that that clips on there, but it's the wrong direction. I wonder if they fix that on future versions. So like the clip bill, if you clipped it, it would be facing the wrong way. I like that feature, but I feel like when you go to use it, it would put the light way back far in there. There it is. 10440. Yep. What's up, Big Hams? How's it going? Oh, you do have a mini. Yeah, that's. I thought about looking at that one, and then I saw the land apple, and that was the one I ended up deciding to go with. Oh yeah, the arc field. I keep that one at the desk because I like the laser pointer and the light combination. I did a mystery pack, like it was half the cost, and this one came in there. This bright green one. I didn't pick this myself, but I do like the thinness of these. But they're super long, and I think the new ones they got rid of the kick out on the back. But I like this one at the desk, especially when I'm doing videos and I'm trying to show, like at nighttime, I'm trying to show the inside of the knife. That one comes in handy. Yep. I think that's everything that I have to go over. Oh, I was gonna, if I didn't show it to you guys last week, just in case, I don't want to miss giving you guys a sneak peek since y'all are coming out. I really like this one. This one is the Miguron Miro. Mero, if I'm saying that right. Why isn't it focusing? There we go. It's got knurling, good thinness to it, compound ground. Actually has like a belt finish on it. I didn't really like the factory edge, so I put my own edge on it, but I have like a working edge. I don't know if it's gonna even pick it up. It's so, but I have like, I think I stopped right before polishing. Man, I can't catch the light to save my life. But I like this one a lot. I actually felt a huge difference. So what I'm learning is um, with the skiffs versus the stamped, if it's really hollowed out a lot on the inside, like this one is, the vibration travels more. So when you move from, well, I cleaned it and installed skiffs. So people have pointed out to me, like, if you cleaned it and put it back together, it probably would operate really well. But it's just so glassy and you really notice it with the hollowed out. Like I feel like it carries the vibrations more. But this one here, really, really nice. I like this one a lot. I think this is my favorite premium Miguron right now. The pocket clip came a little loose. It was tapping and it didn't have really good retention. So I did take it off and kind of worked it down and got rid of the tip. And it's got really good retention now. And when I put the skiffs in, I couldn't quite find guillotine. Not quite guillotine. It's a little bit of a shaker. And then when you get to a certain point, I guess it does drop. But it's locked up solid. I did a spine whack test, which I'm getting ready to do a video for that one. I uh, I think I talked about that in the last live. I think batoning the knife on a piece of wood doesn't, to me, prove that the lock's strong or not. I think when you talk about knife safety and you talk about accidentally whacking the spine, which that is violating the safety aspect of it because you should be careful with the knife unless you're in the dark or something, extreme. But it would just be once, right? What I would like to see and what I've started to do with mine is, tap it with a medium tap, reset the lock because it's supposed to be a one-off instance, and I feel like that could prove the lock strength. But I think beating on a lock, you're causing vibrations, you're causing potential, blades uh, springing on the lock. I just feel like that's not a really fair way or accurate way to test it. And, I feel like it would damage the knife. I feel like it's going to damage the lock bar insert, liner lock, button lock, all the locks by batoning with it. That's just not what I think a folding knife is built for. But I'm not going to get into all that tonight because I know I don't want to piss anybody off. It's just my opinion, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So I don't want to make anybody mad about it. I did do a video though, talking about my perspective on it and what I think about the spine whack thing. Anyway, let's get off of that. Yeah, I like the Miro. It's really nice. Migron and Kunwu and even Vosteed here lately with their premium knives really been impressing me with what they're offering for the money. And Kunwu and Vosteed's heat treats have really impressed me. Now, I haven't done my full-on cut test with the Miro. When I was doing the review, I cut like two squares, like probably just a little bit bigger than I can fit on the screen of cardboard. And in that, it had like a small blemish that it was getting caught up on way back here on the M390. So, I I have tested the other Migarons that I've had, and their M390 seems good. I don't know how well it is because I think they also do 59 to 61. So I'm hoping I have 61 every time that I get one of theirs. I wish they would bump it up just a tiny bit more, but it still seems like it's performing well. But I'm going to do a little bit of a long term cutting with that one. And I like the fact now that I'm adding in to show you guys what I'm sharing, or what I'm doing, sharing what I'm testing and how I'm testing it, just to give you guys the feedback on that stuff. And then I got a little bit away from sort of long-term updates, and I think I'm going to save that for the live streams to kind of tell you guys how things are doing, how things are performing. And then if I have a major issue with something breaking down or not performing well at all, I'll probably put that into content and in a video to put out there for the masses. But so far, like I feel like those three companies do really well, build quality, and it's just phenomenal value for money from those three companies. So I'm really excited. I'm curious how long they can sustain it, especially Kunwu because they're doing really killer heat treats. Yeah, just keep in mind though, this is like the biggest knife I've ever picked up from them. So for me, full four fingers hanging out the back, and then it's for me, it's a little bit of just a first knuckle, and I'm right up beside the edge. I can't get any closer. Now, if I choke up, I'm choking up like this. I'm just putting it on the top here. So if I choke up, sticks out a little bit out of the back. But this is definitely one of their fuller size knives. So just, I think people don't realize that until they actually try to handle the knife that I've handled. They don't realize that I can make things look like. Wait, let me go back to that. um, we'll see. This one I really like, but if I have to move stuff around, you never know. I do think I'm gonna have to do a knife sale here in a little bit. I picked up some stuff to check out during the holidays. I am over 30, and that's my cut number. So I just did a trade. I traded my um, Wii Orpheus Integral because there was absolutely no bites on that, and I did give members a bro deal, a bro price. Um, but when I listed it, someone was interested, but they asked me to do a trade, which normally I don't do, but they offered the all blacked out Jack Wolf Midnight Jack. So I do want to check that one out because I like the feel good. It's a little skinny, but I do like it a lot. That's where I run into the issue with the hands. So I'm curious if the Midnight ends up being a little bit nicer ergonomically, I might sell my feel good. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, they really have good prices, and still to this date, it's way down there. I'm not going to dig it out. I love the Moyarl. The Migaron Moyarl is still my favorite budget knife. Just real simple. You know what? It gives me Spyderco vibes, right? It has the keyhole opening hole, very slim. Not that Spydercos are slim closed, but it has like a really slender profile, very clean profile, I guess is what I should be saying. Not slender, it's clean. And you don't have a flipper tab sticking out the back. It feels solid. It has good girth. It's actually a little bit more girthy than the majority of my knives, but only by a little bit. So I do like that about that. If they ever made a premium version of that with some knurled titanium, man, that one is definitely awesome. Yeah, yeah, it's a big one. It's not small. It is not for the faint of heart. Which one? Are you waiting for the DLC? Oh, for my Padre? Nah. Nah, I think this is going to be a long termer. This is going to be like my relative and my nine. I absolutely adore this. Like, it is just so comfortable ergonomically. Let me back out. Maybe I should back my camera out a little bit. I really just love this one a lot, guys. This is my favorite Kunwu, and I like a lot of their models. Their models are absolutely killer. But I thought I saw that they were doing a pre-order for the DLC version. Did they open and close that already? I didn't see that. Not that I want that one. I like mine a lot. You saw how I pulled that out of the pocket? That should just let you know. Yeah, that one's a large one. I haven't gotten to that one yet. I haven't gotten to check that one out yet. I probably will have to like sit down and have the heart to heart with myself, talk about what's gonna have to go, what's gonna stay. The only things that are ever really truly safe, my Spyderco's 100%, the bug out with the Flytanium scales from the wife, the nine from the wife, the Echo from the wife, always safe. My Demco that I built, I just love that one. I love that build. That one's probably safe long term. And then my relative. After that, I start to have thoughts. So let's just move on to something else. I wonder, did they do a premium version of the? I feel like they did a premium Valona. Did they not? Is it still shadow boxed? Someone will have to tell me. Yep, yep. Yeah. I think I was in that one because you got to choose, right? You got to choose between the Frack and the Lander 2. I think I was in there when you won that. Yeah. Yeah, I just like it all around, man. I think it's such a cool piece. You guys don't like that Lander 2. Yeah, I don't think it would. I think, isn't it bigger than the Evo 2? Or maybe not. I feel like it's a little bit bigger than the Evo, and I feel like the Kaiser Huntsman has a handle like the Evo, has a blade like the Norseman, in my opinion. I feel like the Padre has the handle like a Kaiser Roach and has a blade like a Evo. Isn't that weird? I don't know how I came to all that. Hey, Big Hams, I feel you. I was like Kaiser, Civivi. Um, Simcut wasn't around then. There was another brand. Oh, Petrified Fish, Kubi. And then when I got to like 50, I sold 30 and bought my first nice one. So that's kind of how I go. Like I get to a certain point and then I either now I'm kind of both recouping and or offloading to pick up like one or two nice pieces with a bunch. But if you like to collect, it's hard to do that. Like you got to be willing to part ways with stuff, and I have to force myself to realize, okay, I'm not carrying this. Right now, I'm surprised I'm actually doing a pretty good job rotating through almost everything I got. Almost everything. I forgot to show off. I showed the Clydesdale when I got it, but I didn't get to show off. Oh, it's going to be reflective today. I did a stone wash on the 14C28N because I don't like the free reflectivity, and the blurple just never ever shows up good on camera. Like in pictures, I can get it to show up really good, but on camera, I can't. I told Jay Dizzle I'm gonna have to clean it up a little bit. That right there, where you see the, I forgot this one I can get really close with, where that little pocket is, that's because that detemp ball is right there. So I'm gonna try to go. I have a couple of model paintbrushes because I'm stupid because I have a bunch of hobbies, and I'm just gonna try to touch up around it by hand. It won't be quite as dark, and it won't have the stoned finish on there, but I'm just gonna touch it up by hand. to get rid of that. But I think that came out pretty good. What do you guys think about that one? I'll leave it up there for a second so you guys can look at that instead of my face. I even like the way it looks more purple when the oils touch it. Yeah, I thought so. So it's is it still proud? Did I miss that? Did someone respond? No, I'm clicking on everything now. You gave that up? What? All right, y'all are gonna make me dig through my budget roll. Y'all, you gave up the ball tusk? Big hams. Really, man? You gave it up? I cannot believe that. That's like one of my favorite Civivis ever. I know you guys are gonna make fun. I'm sorry. Breaking out the piss. The PP scales. I really just like the way the Ultim looks against the black. Like I just think it gives it like that light beer, amber color. Gosh, man, the lighting just you see the camera's glitching, struggling with it. Um, I bought two, swapped it out with the black hardware, and then I just sold the green one. But I did it so long ago. Big Hams, man, I feel bad for you, bro. I feel bad for you. And there's my Megaron. Man, if they ever made a premium version of this, I absolutely love this thing. Hello, camera. So clean. I hope they do make a premium version of it. Actually, I hope they don't. I don't need to spend it more money. All right, I'm just gonna set this down. All right. Anyway, I can't believe you sold that, man. Yeah, the lander was higher priced, but didn't move me, and it's really not meant to, right? It's a bug out. It's a drop bear. It's just super neutral, clean lines for somebody that wants a really well-made cutting tool that just doesn't care about anything else, in my opinion. I thought so. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. So they started out making it really big, and then they went too far small, and then they overcorrected and brought the three to be somewhere in the middle. Oh, wait, I read that wrong. Okay, so they went large. Oh, I did read it right. They went really big, too small, and then right in the middle. But did they open it up for pre-order and it just ran that quick? I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it did. You're gonna have me going to look at these later when I order some food to eat. I hit on the MBK River Otter, but it's too small. Yeah, I don't really have anything. This is close. This is really close to being a little too small for me. I want to go in quick, and I realize it doesn't catch up on that. So you see, I hang off the back just a little bit, but I just really love the personality of this. I just need it to just be a skosh bigger. If I squeeze, as I kick my new Caval case, if I squeeze up on, oh, it's so hard to get it to do. That's why I like doing the top tabletop reviews. If I squeeze the index finger on to the ramp there, I can get it on there. You can see where I can just barely hang on to it. So this to me is like bug out size. This is right there with it. But I really like this. And Kubi and Concept, I'm so glad that people are using them because money for value and build quality on these are really, really good. Now I did strengthen up the detent a little bit. You see, it's not a guillotine anymore. It so I think someone else that didn't have the leverage that I can get on that front flipper probably wouldn't like that and would want to dial it back down. But that one really surprised me because I was like, it's kind of got a little bit of an aggressive look, I would call it. So I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it in hand, but I really like it. And I actually kept it on its factory bearings. Like those are the factory bearings. That's really, really nice. It has some cool sounds. Do y'all hear the sounds really good? Oh, Thomas, yeah, yeah, you won the Jetstream, right? I won't run the whole thing. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. In the Anno awesome? The only thing about the Anno with that one is like this, once you start touching it, it gets the little spots. And what the Anno does, it kind of I can't remember if it lightens it or darkens it. I feel like it darkens it a little bit, the oils, but when it's clean, man, they did such a good job with that Anno. It's such a high reflective polish. The Anno looks really good when it's clean, but I really like the Jetstream. I can't wait to check out the Fractus. Ooh, on them scales, I already know Big Hams. You got to be talking about the Bull Tusk. Gotta be. You wouldn't talk about my Anno like that. Let's see here. We did a knife swap for Christmas. We did. Wait, we did a knife swap for Christmas. I got him the Bull Tusk. He got me. Oh, the Micarta Drop Bear. Yeah, yeah. I wasn't busting on the Drop Bear or the Lander 2 earlier. I was just saying like they're very, in my opinion, very neutral. Um, versus, and I say that talking about something like a Clydesdale, or if you're talking about a Miro. And the Miro, truth be told, it's just the handle on the Miro. The drop point compound blade um, really isn't all that outlandish. All the action happens in the knurling, and then the kind of handle guard there, like a pommel. I think it's called a pommel guard. I don't even know. You would think I would know the languages better by now. All right, let's see. Small Sabenza. Yeah. Small Sabenza is too small for me. Budget Padre. I'm glad you said that. I've done this in other live streams, Big Hams. I don't know if you've been here or not. I think there's some similarities for sure. But when you see them side by side, I think open, especially with the handle, they're not as close because I thought the same thing, truth be told. Um, I thought they were really, really close. Let's see if I can get them lined up here. And I think what it is literally the clip point and the opening hole. Let me see back here. Let me just move for this comparison. I'm gonna move them. I don't know how well that's gonna show up. I think you see it has more belly on the Padre, and you got more flat cutting surface on the Bull Tusk, and then you have a much lower drop point on the Bull Tusk. I said Bull Tusk. So I don't know. Hopefully you got to see enough of that. I actually just say decide for yourself. I thought the same thing when I saw the pictures, that I was like, oh, very much like a Padre. And then when I got the two of them together, I was like, outside of the clip on the tip, which again, even though it does have it, it has, I guess, the more aggressive drop on it versus the big sweep up to the belly where it kind of meets the clip point on the Padre. I guess that's what makes it look so different to me, even though there are a lot of similarities. It's always wild to me how people see things differently too. Titanium Mista. No, but I think I saw that at Blade Show because I think they had the prototypes out there. I'll go check it out later, Tori. Tori is a channel member, by the way. Oop, keep missing it.
Welcome to your NFL headlines of the day. I couldn't find NFL news, but I couldn't find any recent football headlines.
I'm amazed that she can't find any headlines about NFL when we're in the playoffs. That kills me. It turned pink on you? Wonder what you're coming in contact with that reacts to it. That's very interesting to me. Pretty Fly says he wants one. I'm gonna have to go check it out later. I'm getting caught up. How do you say that? Misto? Misto? What is up, Javon? How's it going, bro? Hope you're having a good evening. I got to check out your magnetic detent video where you installed the aluminum scales today while I was at lunch, man. Love to see it. Love to see it. I had my Demco out earlier. Actually, that was when I was recording. But I love it. With the hollow grind, it's not quite as strong as it is with the full flat grind that comes from the factory, but it's still really good. I would put, in my opinion, those aluminum scales, the one that you had, he had sent along a set with them installed for me to check out. I would call those like an 8 on the detent strength, and I would call the ones that are on the hollow grind like a 6.5, a strong 6.5. I'm making up the numbers. I don't know that any of those numbers are right, bro. If you guys aren't familiar with Javon, go check out his channel. If you're not familiar with Jay Dizzle, I think everybody is. Go check out his Instagram. My man does some seriously sick mods. I haven't been giving shout outs. I'm so sorry, guys. Anybody else that would like a shout out, throw it up in the comments. I'll make sure that I'll call it out because we have folks that listen that don't necessarily always comment. Yeah, I'm so glad he turned me on to those magnets. He's the one that told me which ones to get because I was just getting like some rare earth magnets before, and while it helped, especially when I realized where to position them on the knife, it helped. But it was like comparing. So on the hollow grind, it would be going 8 flat grind, strong 6.5 hollow grind, and it would have been like a 4 on the earth magnets that I was using before, which 4 is better than 0. It's better than 0. But that's kind of how I equate it. Hey man, absolutely. They wear the pinks, the purples, all the good stuff. 100%. I've never seen. I have done high contrast colors. My power bank is kind of limited. I have to go back and look, and it's hard because I bought like a Wii brand titanium pry bar for like $40 to test on. And I probably could just get seriously like some scrap titanium from somewhere to test on. But even when you do that, if it's a matted coat finish versus a polished finish versus a hot, like all of that plays a factor on how well you can see it. When you get into those high vibrant colors, the stronger your polish is, the more translucent it looks, at least in my experience. There's other people that have been doing it longer that are probably better suited to talk to it, but that's been my experience. I've been doing it for a little bit over a year. When I polish, I tend to stay kind of closer to these darker colors. Not that they're dark, but if you were to look at this versus like, I don't know if it's 70s or 80s when it starts to turn blue again, but it like when you angle it at those higher voltages, you'll see like it looks pink, and then here it'll look purple, and then dead on it'll look blue, so it has more of that chameleon effect on the polished. Josh, I hear you, bro. Let's see. I think, are you going to be on Lefty's Live tonight, Javon? Are you planning on going over there? I'm going to go get some food here in a little bit, clean up my mess after this and get some food. And then actually, while we're talking, oh, Javon, you missed it earlier. I don't know if you're still there. A couple of my acquisitions, I know you'll appreciate this. I'm not going to go into the full array of everything, but come on, camera. Why is it so slow to focus? Okay, there it goes. I got the Land Apple Raylight. Um, I got the Vosteed Rook. Rook. I don't know what Rook is. This one's a triple emitter. So this one's got a little bit more flood than the other ones that I picked up. And I got the Focus. I got the batteries. I got this for Christmas during a holiday sale, but I got the F3 Focuswork F3. I finally picked up the batteries. Thank you for that, by the way. I can't remember where you told me to pick this one up, but it works really, really well. I think you're the one. I'm pretty sure it was you that talked about vape C, right? Am I saying that right? Works really well with this one. I picked up three, so I could keep a couple on charge and just rotate them out as they die. But it works really well in this and the LAN Apple. The LAN Apple goes in that one as well. I really am impressed with those batteries. I'm so glad that you said something. I think you talked about them with Lefty when y'all were talking about that stuff. And then I got this big boy here. This one's going to be kind of like, instead of carrying the Mini Warrior 2, and I think these start at like $68 for the aluminum, but the titanium AceBeam E70. So I'm just getting it into a couple of these, so reviews will be later. But I really am enjoying them, and I appreciate some of y'all's feedback. I know I teased a little bit about the flashlights because look how easy it is to get off topic about them. Oh, sweet. All right, I'll check you up when I go into the chat too, man. Missed something. I definitely missed something. I missed something. If y'all talking about fragrance. Oh, the frag. I got you. Okay. On the land, I'm assuming you're talking about the land. When you said fragrance, I was like, oh, y'all are talking about scents. Let me change the subject. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. That's what I was gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my food order if y'all don't mind. I had to let my phone charge. I was recording the unboxing for the Lefty pass around. That was for the Tuyas, and it did come with he bundled these three together. It came with the traditional pocket knives exclusive Lake Chaplin Barlow. But I already have one of those, and I have a full video of that. And actually, I already have the cut test with that one recorded. So that one will be coming later for the cut test. But I think the review is already out there, so I'm not going to include that in anything. What do I want to eat? Think of Panera. What do you guys think about Panera? Y'all are probably like, how rude. I think I'm going to get a smokehouse barbecue chicken. I think. Where's my sandwich? Oh, okay. I see here. This way. Oh, something's not available. This way I can kind of have it on the way here, and then while I'm cleaning up after the live, I can get it here. Tori says, "Oh heck no, not the cologne. Neve drives me off everything with that noise. Oh, drives you off every time with that noise. I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah, I think it's. I guess touching on it would be okay, but I wouldn't want to go down the rabbit hole. Not me personally. Oh, $1 off a sandwich? You guys are probably like, this is not what I tuned in for. Redeem the sandwich, and I want to make sure I get my chips with that. And then that'll be on its way here, and then I can clean up. But, you know, anything you guys want to talk about? I'm sure some of you guys are headed over to Grumpy Grunts, possibly, maybe. You guys got quiet on me. Is it because I was ordering the food? What else y'all got? All right, I got my chips. Order. No, I don't want that. Sold out. Sold out? All right, fine. We'll do that. The bakery items were limited. I'm going to get myself a little treat. Don't tell my wife. Of course, knowing my luck, she's probably listening tonight. And she's gonna be like, "Why'd you say that? You know I don't care." All right. Stuff that'll be coming up on the channel. It's gonna be the flashlights. I'm gonna do organizers and pouches. Got my confirmation there that my order went through. I'm gonna I'm gonna walk through because a few people have asked me about knife care, just kind of how I organize it, and what I use, and I'm gonna talk about spine whacking. I keep forgetting I moved the camera, so I need to be over here now. Did I bump the camera no, I moved the microphone too close. There we go. I think I did that when I moved the knives. I pulled it back too close. Hopefully you guys can still hear me okay. Is that for the Jack Wolf? Because the only leather slip I have right now is the one that came with my bear, and this one is going to be one of the ones that's on the chopping block. I think Lord Needham sold me his, and then the spring was a little wonky, so I sent it in thinking I was sending it to be repaired, and they ended up replacing it. So this one's going to be on the chopping block. Oh yeah, knife sale video will be coming. Actually, Kenneth, I asked Judy because I asked him about making a slip for my hedgehog because that's what I really wanted it for. He said to message him over on Instagram, so I sent him a message, but I know he's busy because he hasn't responded. But that's been a couple weeks, so maybe I should follow up with him. But you're right, and that's why I reached out to him about making one for the hedgehog. Hey man, glad I could help. Glad I could help. I feel like this just needs to be a little bit bigger, just a little bit. There we go. Still learning OBS, man. Josh, your priorities are right. I'm looking at that statement, trying to figure out what's wrong with that statement. I mean, that's the priority, right? The Now the pins for me, uh, I have like I started with a Tucson titanium pin because I wanted to anodize it because that was kind of when I was really, this is about a year ago, I was really starting to get into anodizing titanium, and I wanted to kind of test myself, and it was $40, right? And I did the click cap and the click button for the release separate and the pocket clip separate. And that was $40 for titanium. But the pins for me are great because I take a lot of notes. My notebook is over there. I write ideas down as I go, or if I want to hit some bullet points on stuff and I don't want to forget it or mix it up, I'll throw that on there as well and kind of reference that as I'm doing the videos. So the pins are very valuable to me. The flashlight's probably the third most used item of the total EDC carry, but they do come in handy when I need them, and I do appreciate having them. But battery charge will last me 6 months, if that says anything. Knife butter. That reminds me. If you guys have seen my disassembly videos, I have a like, what do they call this? Bar top? Bar top desk with a bar top chair. So I gotta like hop up to get on it. Anyway, sidetracked. I was looking for a better applicator, one, than the cheap one that I bought. And this one looked really, really nice because this one has are you gonna focus? This one has a steel. It looks like a steel. Maybe not. That might just be the top. Anyway, but I saw this super loop and it says food grade with silicone, PTFE. Does food grade mean it's edible? Uh-oh. It's buffering, guys. I bet you one of my kids are getting onto their video games. It says it's buffering. I don't know if you guys are still getting me or not. Big Hams, that is a good question. I actually have, if you're still registering, and I hope that's the case. Let me see something here real quick. Your YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I don't know if it's coming in rough, and I'm sorry. I'm hoping that it'll fix itself. I'm not sure why it's having an issue, but anyway, I use a Cami and I recorded a video about upgrading the Cami. I know that the Precision Adjust is out there from Worksharp, and it's a really good value, 100%. But I was already invested in my KME, and I really like the stones from KME personally. And the biggest game changer for me on the KME was actually putting the magnetic angle finder on it. That to me completely changed the game for me with sharpening. So I really do like that. Like I feel like I'm able to dial it in very well for somebody that's a novice. I would say I'm a novice. But I wanted to talk about all the upgrades that I did to my KME, so that's all recorded. I'm already out to like the 29th for videos that are staged, and I think I have like over 30 videos that I have to go through and edit and record. So I never want to get to a point where I'm posting two a day because then the pressure's on to keep that volume up. And right now I got a comfortable buff. So it'll be coming, but it might not be until the beginning of February. Yeah. Yeah, pins to me, I actually use them more than the pocket knife. 100% use it more than pocket knife. I'm always taking notes every single day, all the time, as far as using the knife to cut. Uh, Fidgeting, the pen would probably still be in the lead, but the knife would make up a lot of ground. Oh, Tori said food grade means it's okay to use with food grade. Huh? Okay. Okay. Well, it went away, so hopefully by the time you hear me saying this, it will have cleared up. Uh, I have pretty strong. I have Verizon FiOS, and I bumped it up when COVID happened because my wife works from home. She's still working. I can hear her in there. I work from home, and then the kids who were working part-time in the evenings would be at home during the day gaming. So it was a big strain. So I know it can keep up with it, but it also could be like I'm in the furthest corner of my house. So I'm pretty far away from the router, and I'm wondering if that's part of the reason. Scratch the last grade, stupid phone. Okay. So you said, oh, stop jumping. I'm trying to go back. Food grade just means it's okay to use with food. Okay. So like if you ate a little bit, like if a little bit happened to get on your food, you wouldn't die or you wouldn't get poisoned. I use the Precision Work Sharp, but use aftermarket stone holders and Veneve stones. Damn. So it went from budget sharpener to stupid expensive. Thanks to Neve's knives with the damn Veneve. I feel you on that. I really do like my stones. I'm very rarely reprofiling stuff. I'm usually just keeping stuff up. Stuff that I have kept long term, I've put a fresh edge on. The Moriaro, I put a fresh edge on. The Bull Tusk, the Damascus Bull Tusk. No, I stropped that. Scratch that. I didn't put a new edge on that. Hold on, I'm going through the knives. Oh, the Miro, if I'm saying that right. I put a fresh edge on that one. I probably need to strop it. It's really toothy right now. It's really toothy. And I only went 19. I only went 19 degrees per side. It's so hard to get it to show up. You can see a little bit on the tip at that angle because of the lighting. But I only went 19. I mean, I don't know if only is understating. But I went 19 degrees per side. Oh, my Demco 8020.5, I reprofiled. I sent it out to get it hollow ground at BGM. He said he does 22 degrees. I wanted 19 on that as well. I feel like 19 I have found, well, it depends on blade geometry, but for stuff that's slicey, I feel like 19 still for me balances toughness to where I don't have to worry about the edge giving out too early because I don't want to have to strop it too often. I want it to hold up. Oh, obviously I had to put a fresh edge. This is on the KME as well. This will really show up because of the stonewash, I think. I did 17 degrees on this one because it's a hollow grind. It's really thin and slicey. So I did, and I never polish. I don't know if anyone out there is a polisher. All my edges have more bite than polish, and I do that because I want them to hold up a little bit longer. Anytime I stonewash, I have to do it. Uh, Anything reground, so the sheepdog, the Tacom Chimera, and the Kunwu S-Tau. Those all have an edge. That's it. That's everything that I've reprofiled to put an edge on. Everything else I just drop. Yeah, I've never experienced them, so I'll take your word for it. I've always heard very good things about the KME stones, and I've not had a problem reprofiling, but I am spending about 30 to 40 minutes on a knife, and that's without polishing. So I don't know how that compares. That might help me if if you can tell me the time. I freehand for my pocket knives, usually diamond stones, kitchen knives, usually with a whetstone. Okay, nice. I did pick up stones. I can't remember what Neves recommended, and they're all nicely encased downstairs, waiting for me to get to the point where I want to try that. I always go back to the KME because I just feel comfortable with it. Maybe if I get some budget stuff, I'll try to go freehand on the stones. I do own some. He even told me like what clasps to get. Um, he told me because I was nervous. He showed me where to get the little. It's a flat. It's like 3D printed, and it has like the angles on it to kind of help me stay true. That's what I worry about is, you know, moving inadvertently. What is a Tormac? You guys got me looking up stuff now. Is that a sharpener? I'm hoping it's a sharpener because I'm about to look it up. Tormac. Tormac knife. Yep, sharpener. I bet you this is like some high dollar sharpener. Pretty fly. Wait, it's a belt? Why did a belt sharpener come up? Is it a belt sharpener? I've never tried belt sharpening. I own one, but I've never tried it on a pocket knife, I should say. Kitchen knives. Oh, this is interesting. Is this it? There's a couple of different ones. You're gonna have to narrow it down for me. T8, T4. It looks like a sharpening wheel. Professional knife sharpener. Okay. I didn't even know these existed. As a screen just blasts me out here. Didn't know that those existed. I'm gonna close this Cavill knife link and go back to the live stream. Okay. That's news to me. Never heard of that. Big hams. I'm not in a hurry. I think I think because I don't reprofile a lot. Maybe if I was like a bigger channel and I was more inclined to like keep more high-end stuff, but because I move stuff along, I don't really reprofile too much. And add a while that I use often gets dropped regularly or with frequency that I'd be worried about not indicating it. But most of the other stuff that I keep to test out is usually light cutting because I know that at some point I'm gonna have to move it. Oh, I was checking to see where my food is. Now we're good. That stuff ain't gonna be here till 8, but I think some folks might be leaving to Grumpy Grunt. I don't know. Yeah, some folks left. Enjoy. It just takes a bit more time to learn. Yeah, I even feel like that with the guided system. Like I feel like it's you stop thinking about everything else and you kind of just zen in on the knife and focus on it. So it's kind of a reprieve. I think that's what you're saying. It is. LOL. Not a belt, it's a spinning wheel. Yeah, yeah, I figured that out after I got onto the page. He really does, man. He has him and Blades and Fades. Blades and Fades. So here's what I like. I like that Neves is very detail oriented, and he can spend hours talking about sharpening and guiding and teaching you and answering questions, and very passionate about it. And I love that about him. Um, Blades and Fades is more of the condensed version, and he spends a lot of time talking about guided systems, and I feel like Neves is more freehand, but also has the knowledge of the guided systems. And I think he pulls towards the freehand because I feel like that's a mastercraft that he's super proud of because he can do it at a high level. And I feel like with Blades and Fades, he's like, man, I can put an edge on with a guided system like this. Here's what I like. Here's the things that have helped me with this sharpener, with that sharpener, with the stone. So he talks about what I'm comfortable using, and I think that's what resonates with me with him. And his volumes, again, his videos are more condensed. So for me, it's okay. I'm getting the most information that I can out of the video and the time with them, and he speaks my language. So those two things, I think, for me, help me more coming from Blades and Fades, but Neves has helped a lot. I hope that doesn't come off wrong. I'm not steering either way. I think people will understand like when someone talks your language or resonates with you on how they talk. Okay, the order's on the way. How they talk, how they dissect or analyze stuff. I think that that goes a long way with a lot of people. I feel like. Yeah, I think I can get a hold of freehand. I have a steady hand. Yeah, yeah, that's important. Can't be shaker. Yeah, it does. It does, Kenneth. It looks like a grinder. It really does. Okay. That last buffering I felt like was my sign to go ahead and sign off. Now the food's on the way as well, and I'm very hungry. So I'm gonna sign off and clean up. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, a wonderful weekend, and as usual, I'll catch you guys in the chats. Talk to y'all later. Peace.